Hello, welcome back. We are on Mindfulness Practice Module 5 already. So whether you have watched the other progression of the modules or if you saw the title of this and you said, I want to learn about mindful eating and mindful movement, welcome newcomers and welcome back. So we are going to be talking about some different practices on mindfulness in regards to eating and movement and kind of give some examples and hopefully help you come up with some different things that work for you when you're eating and moving. I'm going to start off. I am Stephanie Dye. I am a special ed behavior consultant for the ISD and one of our mindfulness presenters.
And I am Lisa Cobb. I am a school social worker at North Muskegon Public Schools, but have been working in the county for, 25 years or so, and a mindfulness instructor through Mindful Schools for since 2016, and practicing mindfulness in local districts and teaching it around the state for over 10 years.
So thank you for joining us. So we are going to get into what we're going to go over today. So we're going to do an opening activity, kind of get us connected and grounded. And we're going to look into more about mindful eating and what does that truly mean to mindfully eat. And then also we'll switch into mindful movement. What is mindful movement and what does it truly mean to move mindfully? And then we're going to do a practice. And we're going to end with heartfulness, of course, and go through that. So enjoy. Hopefully you get to enjoy this and learn something new. So we're going to start with our connector activity. And it's really looking at more of and less of. So as we think through whatever we're going through right now or what we've gone through in the past and looking at how do we help say, yeah, that really worked for me, or no, that's not working so much for me. We want you to get a piece of paper, write down on the top of it on one side, more of, and then put a line in between, and then another column, write less of. And really think about some of those things that you are grateful for, things that have brought you joy, things that really fill you up, and put that in that more of column. Like, I need some more of this. And you don't have to determine right now how you're going to get there, but at least go through of, I need some more of this. And then in the less of column, think of the things that maybe, suck some of the joy out, or maybe you say, hey, right now I need a pause on this. And I need less of this in my life at this moment. And write that down and really just take a moment and look at that and notice when you look at those two things, how does it make you feel? Maybe as you're going through it, you're pausing and thinking, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And that really did bring me joy. So I need to bring that back in my life. Or I have started this new thing and I want to continue on with that because it's helped bring that gratitude and peace in me as well. So go ahead and take a moment and write those down, the more of and less of. And if you're talking with a group, feel free to pause the video and you can share it around the room, or feel free to post it up on the wall or put it on a sticky note so that it can help remind you so you can look at maybe an action plan eventually.
All right, so we'll just ground ourselves into this space. Now that you've written down what you want more of, what you want less of, we're just going to do just a couple minutes of mindful breathing. I am going to use a singing bowl. Sometimes it reverberates just a little tiny bit, so be prepared for that. But if you can sit up in your mindful body, sitting up straight, shoulders back, heart to the sky, hands on your lap or down to your sides, feet flat on the floor, and close your eyes. If you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, just softly gaze at something in front of you. So we're going to breathe in to about the count of 4. We're going to breathe through our nose, down our throat, expand our belly, and hold it for about 7, and then blow out for 8. Very important to blow out for those 8. And again, breathing in. And as you're holding it, just check in with your body. Blowing out, slowing down your heart rate, relaxing your shoulders and your arms, the trunk of your body down into your legs. Just checking in and knowing that this time, this half hour of your day is just for you. One more breath. And out. And then bring a smile to your face. Slowly open your eyes if they were closed and wiggle your fingers and toes and come on back to this space. And we're going to move into our mindful eating. So mindful eating is maintaining an in-moment awareness of the food and drink that we put into our body. And I'm going to share with you a story, a personal story from about 3 weeks ago. My house was empty. There was nobody in my house. Everybody was gone. Everybody was safe. Everything was fine. It was Saturday morning. And I thought, I'm going to practice mindful eating because I know that this is coming up. And oftentimes I don't eat mindfully. So I had some organic bread that I had in the freezer, and I purposefully got out a piece of that and made 2 poached eggs and put it on my plate, displayed it very nicely, sat down to eat, had my cup of coffee, made sure there was no music, my phone was off, and I was just going to pay attention to what I was eating. I was going to cut it and look at the color and look at the textures. I was going to smell and notice what that wonderful toast that I love so much smelled like. I was going to put it in my mouth and chew it and really taste the seeds that are in the bread, experience it. Nobody's around. Take my first bite, and off goes my brain. Well, make sure that you call so-and-so and find out if they're feeling better. Are you going to do laundry this weekend? Are you going to do that now? And then I would say, okay, yes, I hear all of that stuff. Back to my chewing, back to my eating, just noticing, really taking this moment for myself. Well, are you going to walk the dog? He didn't even go for a long walk yesterday. Should you even really have a dog? And just like on and on and on, and make sure that you call your sister and your mom. And oh yeah, you've got to get dog food. Are you going to go to Green Haven to get, like, just on and on and on? And I was like, oh my goodness, all of that runs in the back of our head all of the time, day and night, all through our day, whether we're at work, whether we're at home, whether we're in the community, all of that noise is going on constantly. And it reminded me when I sat there and really just tried to have a relationship with my food, which is healthy for our digestion, healthy for how much we eat. When we eat slowly, we eat less. We notice when we're thirsty. We taste things that are salty. I thought this is perfect. I have to share this story because the practice is noticing, eating, noticing, saying, yep, I'll get back to you, and really, really going back to yourself. So when we go to the next slide, we are making sure that we are observing how the food makes us feel, the signals your body sends about taste, about satisfaction, about fullness. And I think most of us, myself included, eat on the run, eat while we're cooking, eat as soon as we walk in the house, who ate all of those crackers. oh, geez, that was me that ate all those crackers. Oh, I really should have eaten an apple, just on and on and on. So when we stop and we eat mindfully, we really are taking in the experience through all of our senses, how we see it, what it smells like, what it tastes like, sometimes even the chewing, um, what we're experiencing that we like, what we don't like, and then truly how it tastes. And then if we're full, I am in the habit of getting a second helping, even if I'm full. So then I have to play this game with myself where I'm like, okay, my first helping will be less so that my second helping that I am trained myself to get will be less because I want to be conscientious. But I find when I eat mindfully and slowly and put my fork down in between and chew, that oftentimes I don't get a second helping. And I notice, am I really full and am I satisfied? And what is my purpose for eating? Is it stress eating or is it nourishment for myself? Um, Mindful eating isn't about being perfect. And it isn't always about eating the right things. It's allowing yourself um, to experience through the senses as we shop, as we cook, as we serve the food that we eat, like really deciding mindfully that we want a relationship with our food and that we deserve a relationship with our food. And then you find you start making healthier choices. You start noticing how things really taste and if you really like them, or if you're eating them because it's easiest or it's what somebody else cooked or it's kind of burnt, but it's not burnt all that bad or whatever. So mindful eating isn't about beating yourself up or always making the best choices. But if you're going to eat a piece of cake, which we should, or have dessert, like really enjoy it. Enjoy it. And then your body absorbs it in a way that is different than when it's part of our stress response. The benefits, paying close attention to how you feel, learning to savor both your food and the experience of eating, and coming at it from a point of view that you deserve that. You deserve to eat well, that you're not having to give up eating. You deserve to nourish your body instead of just filling your body, noticing when you're thirsty, noticing different spices, and just kind of starting to play with it in a way that's loving to yourself. It can help you slow down, take a break. I literally do the whole put fork down in between while I slowly chew, even if I'm looking around and everybody else is eating really fast. I'm like, that's okay. This is my experience. It changes the relationship with your food. We do make healthier choices. Honestly, I can promise you that 100% that I will start to make healthier choices when I notice how it makes me feel. If I get inflamed after I eat something that's too salty, like really noticing it in my joints, or wow, I'm a lot thirstier after I ate that meal than when I ate a different meal last night. And then ultimately improving our digestion. So now we're going to move into mindful movement.
Thank you. I loved your point of the way it makes you feel, like, because that is so true. And just noticing how your body feels after it. And that also goes in line with mindful movement, is still that noticing of how your body feels while you're moving. And when we say movement, it's not about did I do enough? It's not about just exercise. I think people think in regards to mindful movement that it just has to be about exercise. It's the whole gamut of how our whole body operates and works, and looking at while I'm moving, how does that make me feel? How does my body feel with that movement? Noticing my breath with my movement. So, yes, it could be about you want to get healthier or get better at a certain type of movement, but you tend to find out that if you are aware of your movement in those activities or in all activities and aware of your breath, you're actually going to become better and more skillful in different movements because that awareness is there and feeling that whole thing. So it's not just a head game, but it's about how our body moves as well, which then makes us feel stronger and more capable of doing those different types of movements. So as our days go by and we're going through the motions, and I feel like that's happening more lately of just going through the motions of the day-to-day things, we go through that busyness and we don't actually think about how our body operates until we get to the point where, oh, my head hurts or my back is killing me, my shoulders feel tight, where we're past that. And to some people it could be, well, I need to lay down now because of all the movement that I've done today, but not done movement in the fact of slowing down and understanding it, but doing movement of just going through it. So it allows us to bring our attention to what kind of movement we like. It allows us to say, I enjoy doing this part. This makes me feel good. And this doesn't. And it's focusing on your breathing. So when I go to movement, I enjoy a lot of it being outdoors because the outdoors tends to help me feel, I don't know, it's this freeing feeling. So whether it's when I'm running, so if I go on a run, the hardest part is actually putting my shoes on and stepping outside. But once I get out there and I feel that freedom of when I'm moving. So even when I am running, right, during that time, your mind is talking to you the whole time, right? You're too slow, you're not good enough, you don't even have the right posture, your breathing's off, why are you even out here? All of this talk. But when I try to turn those thoughts to the side and say, what does your body feel right now? I actually will pay attention to how my feet hit the pavement and how my arms feel when they're moving. And what does that feel like? Where it tends to then my body goes in one motion more. And then the run becomes easier because I enjoy the way it makes me feel. But when I pay attention, so I call it running mindfully, when I pay attention to how my body is moving, the run actually becomes easier versus trying to fight all those thoughts in my head and trying to push through it. If I focus my attention on how each part of my body is moving. So running's an example, but even when you're obviously when you're doing yoga or something along those lines, you are very aware of how your body is moving. Going on a hike, how does it feel to have the different types of ground, whether it's dirt or pavement or sand? How does it feel as you're walking through it on your body? How does it feel on your feet? Um, I go back to also when I'm doing that movement, I'm allowed to look at all my senses. We went last night on a family walk. So all four kids and my husband and I, we went and the dog, and we went on a family walk down to the park down the road. And it allowed us to have connections, but also my 8-year-old and I got to pause and I was like, okay, what are you feeling right now that we've walked this far? What do you hear? What do you smell in our surroundings? And you could almost see when we did that afterwards, there was more pep in his step. Like this walk is, oh, here we go. I gotta walk, mom making me do this. But once we were able to pause and take full awareness of how our body felt out there, how we're fueling our body, how all of the other senses, his pep and he was like ready to go on this walk even more. So allowing all of that, it it shows us that we can enjoy these things better. It can be as simple as just going on a walk. And if this is something you can do even with, a classroom, especially now that it's getting nicer out. Some things that I've done with kids is we go on a walk just down the sidewalk and say, how does your body feel when you move? What foot do you put in front of the other one? And focusing our attention to slow down on how our movement is. We have this wonderful um, thing of our body and cherishing it, and how do we feel it with different things. So helping us do that and pay attention to what we like. So you might not like doing yoga, you might not like running, you might not like walking on the beach because the sand is harder and you're pushing with the resistance. There might be different things you don't like, but it's figuring out what kind of movement do you like, and really embracing that, because that's what's going to treat yourself better and fuel yourself so that you're aware in those situations. With that movement, it also helps you understand when you are getting in more of that stress response, or you are getting more heightened. And so that way, if you're in tune with your body and how it moves, you're more aware of when situations are bothering you. So it allows us to check in with our bodies more. It helps us lower that stress because, I mean, why do we tell kids or even adults that when we're feeling heightened, let's go for a walk? Because that movement, yes, it allows us to leave that situation, but that movement is helping calm and reduce that stress in our bodies and helping us be more aware. So movement is so powerful. It releases a stagnant energy. So, sometimes when you're feeling lethargic and you just want to lay, but when those lethargic days, day turns into days or weeks, and we have all this extra that stagnant energy, when it's just getting outside and moving, or it doesn't have to be outside, but even just movement allows that energy to release, and that's when those endorphins come in and we feel better. Helps connect that mind and body connection and understanding what is our self-talk through those movements, bringing that awareness to each part of even how it feels on our fingers and how it feels on our toes, how it feels against our, face if we're in the wind or you know, if we get really hot, how does that feel? And just noticing all of those body movements with that as well. So movement is a huge way of self-care, right? We talk about taking care of ourselves, helping with that stress response. So the physical piece, whether it's exercise or getting enough sleep, all of that affects how our body is and how it moves. It helps our well-being, both mentally, because of our physical aspect. It connects with that. It actually lifts our mood. So if we're feeling stressed or sad or angry or nervous, going for those walks, it's not just going for the walk or going for that I need to move. Sometimes just moving to another room can change the whole piece, but it's noticing how we're moving. Am I looking with my head down? Am I looking with my head up? What does that look at the difference? How many things do I miss when my head's down or when my shoulders are shrugged, or am I leaning back? Am I opening up my heart? All of those pieces of our movement really helps with that connection, which then helps us feel uplifted and full too.
Moving to what's called a seated body scan. So you're going to stay seated in your chair, uh, feet flat on the floor, and shoulders back, heart to the sky, hands on your lap or to your sides. And I'm going to go ahead and shut my camera off so that you are not distracted by me and that you are just listening to my voice. So we're going to sit, close our eyes, take a nice deep breath, breathe in through your nose, down your throat, expand your belly. When you blow out, just kind of ground in, feel a little bit heavier in your seat. We're going to focus a little bit on mindful movement. We talked about more of what we want, less of what we want, being aware of what we eat, developing a relationship with our food that it's positive and loved based. It's important for you to be gentle with yourself. If you try too hard to be relaxed, you can create discomfort in your body and in your mind. Simply observe what is happening with a sense of exploration and curiosity, remembering that there's no right way to feel, giving yourself permission to feel what you're feeling. Notice the desire to judge your feelings, to want to do things differently, to have things be different than they are now. Allowing yourself to be exactly the way you are. We're going to scan the body from this seated position and we're going to intersperse some movement. So, sitting in your chair with your feet flat on the floor, hands resting on your knees or thighs down to your sides. Your eyelids are lowered or closed in a relaxed, aware position. Bring awareness to your breath. Feeling the direct sensations of your breath with no need to modify it or change it in any way. Maybe you'd like to place your hand on your belly, on your abdomen, just for a few breaths. Notice your abdomen rising with the in-breath, falling or contracting with the out-breath. Just follow this for a few breaths, getting a sense of your rhythmic, relaxed movement. If you like, you can imagine bringing new energy, freshness, a vitality to your body as you breathe in, cleansing, releasing toxins every time you breathe out. Breathing in, cleansing, breathing out toxins. With every breath, training our minds to be present, to live in the here and now. So, whatever you notice your mind wandering off to and thinking about, bring your attention back to your breath, feeling your breath in and out. Bring it back gently and firmly without judgment, being very kind and gentle with yourself. And also remember that at any moment, you might feel some anxiety due to body memories or flashbacks or any other negativity or discomfort experienced in your body or your mind from the past or worrying about the future. You can always use the breath or sounds in your space to refuge you, to bring you back to your center, back to yourself, back to the present moment. You're just noticing, where does your mind go? How busy your mind is, and give it a nod and a noticing and come back to your breath. And now, if you like, remove your hands from your abdomen and place them again on your thighs or knees. And move your awareness from your abdomen all the way down through your legs, down the legs until you reach your feet. And if you like, you can move your toes however you want to move them, exploring with great curiosity the sensations that are present in our toes. You might notice a warmth or a coolness, moisture or dryness, maybe a tingling sensation. And now bring your attention deep into the inside of your feet. Just notice what's present. You may not feel anything, and that's perfectly fine. Bringing your awareness back to the rest of your legs, scanning for sensations in your legs, your calves, your knees, your thighs. Noticing the contact your legs make with the chair. Aware of your bones and your ligaments. Aware of any discomfort, even painful sensations. Just notice them. And if you like, using a breath to soften and be open to all that is present. Your intention is accepting things exactly as they are and accepting yourself exactly as you are. And now let's do a little bit of movement in your legs and feet. Lifting up the right leg slightly, flexing the right foot up and down, circling the right foot one way and then the other way, moving your toes and placing your right leg down. And now lifting your left leg, flexing your foot, circling your foot around to the left and to the right, moving your toes, aware of the sensations, and then placing your leg down. And when you're ready, bring your awareness to your torso, moving up the pelvic area, paying attention to your lower back. Carry a lot of tension and stress in our lower back, and noticing if there's any discomfort in your lower back. Choose to imagine that you're allowing this area to fill with freshness and energy while you breathe in and breathe out. Imagining that all tension and discomfort and pain leaves your body on the out breath. Aware of the sensations in your mid back, noticing your rib cage, paying attention to the sensations on your out breath, bringing new life and freshness in the in breath. And now let's do some movement in your shoulders, bringing the shoulders close to your ears. On the in breath, breathing up into your ears. And on the out breath, bringing them down. Rotate your shoulders backwards. Rotate your shoulders forward. Aware of all the sensations. Moving your awareness to the front of your torso, exploring any sensations in your abdomen when you breathe in, deflating when you breathe out, noticing what's going on in your belly, maybe aware of your digestion, allowing things to be just the way they are right now. Moving your awareness to your chest. Does your chest feel contracted or expanded? No need to change anything, just notice. And then you bring your attention down to your arms and your hands and your fingers, aware of any sensations present in your fingers and your palm and the top of your hands, wrists, lower arms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders. Totally aware of all sensations present in this part of your body. And when you're ready, lifting both arms in front of you, circling your hands to the right, circling your hands to the left, flexing your hands up, flexing your hands down, opening and closing the hands while you spread your fingers wide and feel all of the sensations. Aware as you breathe in, breathe out. Bring your awareness as you bring your hands down to your lap, on your thighs. Bring your awareness to your head and your neck, sensations in the back of your neck and throat area. Just notice whatever's present. No need to do anything or change it. No need to suppress or conquer. Just be. Notice the sensations in the back of your head, deep inside of your head, top of your head. Moving your attention to your face, scanning for sensations in your forehead and your eyebrows, your cheeks, your jaw. Allowing your face to relax, taking a deep breath. Blowing out and just softening and experiencing your entire body, aware of not doing anything, just existing in the quiet, in the silence, in the stillness, letting your breath flow freely, feeling complete. You have the ability to tap into your immense inner resources, experiencing your capacity to be connected to your world. Taking another deep breath, slowly returning your awareness to this place, slowly opening your eyes, wiggling your fingers and your toes, allowing the calmness and the centeredness that you're feeling right now to remain. That was nice. I like even when I am leading a relaxation or a body scan, I think because I've practiced for so many years, I get to enjoy it too. So thank you.
I agree. I very much, Mike. I just got to keep rewatching and listening to her because this is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So when we do that with our eating, slowing down, being aware of our movement, like our, whether we want to call it exercise or just moving our body, connecting our thoughts and our feelings and our behaviors and noticing without judgment in the present moment, like, oh my gosh, like I have to remind myself every day how important it is. So thank you. We'll wrap up with heartfulness, putting our hands on our heart, repeating after me. I am healthy.
I am healthy.
I am happy.
I am happy.
I am peaceful.
I am peaceful.
I am safe.
I am safe.
And I am joy filled.
And I am joy filled.
Bring a smile to your face, even if it's fake, because our brain and our body can't tell the difference. And then sending loving kindness out to each other, out to the planet. May you be healthy.
May you be healthy.
May you be happy.
May you be happy.
May you be peaceful.
May you be peaceful.
May you be safe.
May you be safe.
And may you be joy filled.
And may you be joy filled.
Thank you.
Well, thank you everybody for watching and listening and knowing that you can do any of these activities with your students as well. Do some mindful movement, see what they like, what they don't like. Try some mindful eating at snack time or at lunch and just practice that slowing down and coming together with kids. They love it. They love it.
They absolutely love it. I look forward to next time.
Yes, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.